This is the Akron News Now update. I'm Lindsay McCoy here at Szalay's farm in the valley. Our top story today, more than 100 Akron City employees have taken the voluntary buyouts. Akron Mayor Don Pasquale had extended the program by 10 days beyond the original deadline of August 14th. Visit AkronNewsNow.com for more updates on this story as they become available. And the latest state report card for Akron Public Schools shows continuous improvement for the district this year. School officials pointed out the school system's good marks on value-added education. The district also picked up another state indicator over the last year and saw some higher test scores, particularly in the high schools and grade schools. But the latest figures show yet another year of flatlining in test results from the Akron middle schools. Well, it smells really good over here by the melons. Here at Szalay's farm, we're going to learn a few tips. How to husk your corn in a clean manner, how to pick out a good ear of corn to start. Also, how to cook your corn. I guess there's a couple ways you can do this. So we're going to ask the experts on what they think is the best way to cook corn here from Szalay's farm.
You can tell just by looking at it, like it's got a nice smooth skin on the outside. It doesn't have any big dents on it where it's been smashed by the corn picker or something else. You can look at the top. There's no damage to it from one of the animals like the birds or the raccoons, groundhogs, deer. And so as long as it looks nice and fresh like this, you are good to go. And if you need to, you can kind of peek in the top if you're kind of old-fashioned, but really no need to. You get a nice big pot with some fresh corn, fill up with some cold water, drop the corn in it, and then let it come to a boil. Then once it comes to a boil, boil it for 3 minutes. Take it out, put it on the plate, you're good to go.
That easy.
That easy. Simple as, I don't know, as simple as it can be.
Oh, that sounds too
And as far as freezing it, there's quite a few different methods, and all of them are good because you can't really screw it up. Corn's one of those great vegetables where you just, if you parboil it or if you don't, you just cut it off. Either way, it's going to work for you.
So I can freeze that?
You can freeze it just
like that?
You can freeze it just like this. You can, cut the silks off and the bottom butt off, so that it doesn't take up so much room in your freezer. You can cut it off the cob, put it in freezer bags, and then you can boil it for like a minute and ice it down for a minute if you want to. All personal preference.
I'm going to husk the corn. Now I go from the middle, right?
Right.
Okay. Paula Szalay is telling me how to do this. From the middle, I rip it down in half, like so. So it's in half, right? Okay, and now what? I let it drop to the ground, and I take off what are these called?
That's the silk.
Silk. Okay. I don't like...
Each silk goes into a kernel of corn.
Okay.
And that's how the corn develops.
And you said, just to make sure...
That's feeding tubes.
Okay. And you said that if it's bitten at the top, that means an animal had a little bit of fun. So we don't want that corn. So this is a good ear of corn. All right. Well, the National Insurance Crime Bureau has come out with a list of the top vehicles that thieves like to steal, and no, the tractor did not make the cut. The 2000 Dodge Caravan tops the list with the most stolen vehicles in Ohio last year. Other items of interest to criminals, the 95 Oldsmobile Cutlass, followed by the 96 Jeep Cherokee and the Grand Cherokee. The older models are attractive reportedly because the parts often go for nearly twice as much than the vehicle itself on the used car market. Szalay's farm is tucked away here in the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. It's kind of an Akron area staple. So I had a chance to sit down with the owner and talk a little bit about the history of this business.
It started out with just a few little tables of maybe tomatoes, some corn, a couple melons, and it's grown quite a bit. That's what my customers tell me. If they haven't been here in a couple of years, they've moved out of town and come back to see us, they'll say, "Oh my golly, this place is huge now compared to what it used to be." So now we have all the fruits and vegetables you can imagine. And a lot of homemade goodies too, from pies, cookies, breads, some honey. All the corn is grown here in the valley, except for about 20 acres, which we grow down south now, so that we can have corn very early. We re-rented some acreage down there, and we bring it up fresh every day from down there. And once that's gone, then we do everything here locally in the valley. Middle of the season of any fruit or vegetable is always prime time. This is the middle of the season for us right now, so yes, it's the cream of the crop, so to speak.
In Akron News Now Sports, the Tribe is back in action tonight. The Cleveland Indians play the Kansas City Royals. First pitch is set for 8:10, and you can listen live on 1590 WAKR. Well, if you have a news tip, just shoot us an email. It's news@rcrg.net. You can also follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter as well for the latest local news online, on demand now. For Akron News Now from Zalay's Farm in the Valley, I'm Lindsay McCoy.